The man in front of me wanted to call the cops, but I slapped him before he could. I had my assistant tie him up, but I did not know he was the national team coach. I got all his athletes' food poisoned. Then I pulled in a few truck driver friends to pose as athletes. I told them they were competing for the country. They were fired up instantly, but the ref flagged our ages at registration. Good thing my assistant talked our way through. I nailed every single target in archery, but in wrestling I did not know the rules and got called for a foul. The ref told me to kneel with my opponent standing right behind me. I took that as an insult. I crawled out of the ring just in time, but the next time we squared up, he rushed in and bear hugged my legs. I ended up lying flat on top of him, but he let one rip right in my face. My whole face twisted into a mask of agony, but that was the last straw. I grabbed his ankle and spun him 800 times, then launched him across the arena. 2 women came up to me after that performance. They invited me to a hot spring, but 2 men showed up and dragged them away. I decided to get back at them. I laced some candy with stimulants and fed it to them, but that move backfired on me. They went so wild, the original opponent surrendered on the spot. Now I had to fight him myself, but I could barely stop shaking as I stepped into the ring. He looked like he was about to eat me alive. I told the ref he was on stimulants, but the ref said testing would not happen until after the fight. I told my assistant to throw me a towel, but it landed right on my face. Then his fist the size of a sandbag filled my entire view. Everything went black, but the post-fight test caught him. The gold medal still went to me, but he figured out it was my candy. He locked me inside the cold storage room. He stuck a sign on the door that read under maintenance. By the time they found me, it was the next day. I was nearly frozen solid, but the way they thawed me out was worse. They strapped me on a rack and roasted me like a whole lamb. That night I tied up every suspect and lined them up, but before I lifted a finger, one of them confessed. I dragged him up to a 500-meter diving platform. I threw him off the edge while he screamed all the way down, but that was just a taste of what was coming. There was still one last match the next day.